What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another reaction with your host, the Ignorant Eclectic Mad Genius. And today we are checking out, I guess, DistroKid sold, or was acquired, for 2 billion. Um, as you can see, we're back on DYI. Shout out to Buddy. Yeah, hit that like, hit that sub, tell a friend, and tell a friend. Let's learn about this deal.
DistroKid is being acquired.
But the story isn't that they just bought the largest independent music distributor, it's that they bought the data to find out what's tomorrow's most valuable catalogs.
But then today, I got a message from a fan who had told me that they enjoyed the song so much that they had created a full version of it using Suno.
Curtis K.I. Wire.
Not gonna lie to you, that started. I was like, oh, that kind of sound good. Hold on.
DistroKid just got acquired for $2 billion, and it's got a lot of artists worried about what exactly that means as they use their services because a private equity firm is the one that actually bought it.
DistroKid is being acquired in a deal that had been reportedly discussed at around $2 billion. Now, if you're an independent artist, don't panic. DistroKid says nothing changes today. Phil Bauer stays on as president, and the current leadership stays in place. And artists are still keeping 100% of their royalties under the existing model. Think about what DistroKid has built. They don't just distribute music anymore. They have mastering, merchandise, websites, direct-to-fan tools.
It's already suspect whenever I see private equity firms involved in music-related business because those are also some of the same companies that bought up a lot of these artist catalogs before we were introduced to this beautiful thing called AI music, where music was trained illegally on tons and tons of catalogs that weren't even part of the sales. It's interesting how these private equity firms and these companies with money get involved when direct-to-consumer starts to take a company's priorities.
They're building an entire ecosystem around independent artists, and that's what investors are buying. The question now isn't whether independent music is valuable. That $2 billion valuation answers that. The real question is, who owns the roads that artists have to drive on?
Sheesh.
Because whether it's distribution, streaming, AI, or social media, the companies controlling the infrastructure are becoming some of the most valuable businesses in music.
$2 billion private equity firm. Yikes. A lot of artists are like, these companies are always signing off. They're always doing partnerships. Why the hell should I even care, Curtis? How does this even relate to me and what I'm doing with my music? I use DistroKid to distribute my music. Don't forget what those terms of service say, especially the ones that give them the ability to use your music for things like AI model training. Listen to this perspective from Ryan, and we're going to break some of those terms down again just for.
Oh, that's a really good point. I didn't think of that. Yeah, only reason why, yeah. I mean, I don't really use DistroKid. I'm gonna have to actually hit up my people and see what they think about this.
As a reminder, Ryan believes that this is a data grab.
DistroKid just sold for a reported $2 billion, and it's going to change the music industry. But the story isn't that they just bought the largest independent music distributor, it's that they bought the data to find out what's tomorrow's most valuable catalogs.
I mean,
yeah.
As a business, as somebody that would be interested in like furthering my future and my company's future, that is something that I would actually look into. I'm not gonna lie to you.
This is how it could potentially look on the artist side. You upload a song, it starts doing really well, and you get an email or a DM from your own distributor saying, hey, would you like to sell this song to us? With the benefit of having your data and your earnings, they would know before anybody else what that song is making and what it's likely to make in the future.
I don't have to sign you if I have your data. I don't have to buy your catalog as a private equity firm if I have your data.
In times that they're coming to the table way earlier than any other competitor, they're likely to snatch up those songs at bargain basement prices. And this could be a turning point.
Very good. That's a very good point. Because if it's basically just like, so it's like basically like investing. If you get in low before all the hype and everything else goes up, you get 10-20x fold off of your ROI, return on investment.
For private equity, they don't just want catalogs, they want infrastructure.
They don't want just catalogs, they want infrastructure. As a reminder, DistroKid sits on a massive corpus of audio, metadata, and usage behavioral data across millions of independent artists. You opted into it, which is a real potential asset if licensing deals with AI developers become common. Something majors like Universal and Warner have already begun exploring. Nasty work. Private equity firms have been involved in acquiring of catalogs. They were buying off catalogs years and years ago. Could it be that these companies knew that AI music was coming down the pipeline? This is a list of other private equity.
Yeah, because if you think about it, what Lil Wayne sold his masters. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, Nelly, Notorious, Eve, Future. Chris Brown sold his. Iggy Azalea, T-Pain. Well, T-Pain's still making really good music. So, I mean, like, he's doing that, but he's also making new music, which basically will be a new, basically, they would probably own that, but they don't own none of his new stuff. I know T-Pain is still making a shit ton of good music. Chuck D. Damn, okay, yeah. But, yeah. Damn.
Firm. CVC is the private equity firm that bought off DistroKid, right? Nelly sold off his catalog in 2021 for $50 million. Notorious B.I.G. had another private equity firm named Primary Wave in 2023, sold it for $200 million. Eve, the rapper Eve, 2024, she sold off her catalog for between 25 and 50 million. Future sold it off to a private equity called Influence Media Partners, 2023, undisclosed 8-figure amount. That's a lot of money if an artist is going through some financial issues. They don't think that catalog is going to pull that in for them. I mean, these are the companies that have access to putting your music into different places where it could generate income, like in commercials and televisions. But now when you see the reckless nature of these platforms that have trained off of our music illegally with AI, you start to realize, shit, was that why they were buying these catalogs off? Diabolical. DIYers, remember I warned you about the idea now of sharing your music because of the presence of AI as snippets, and the idea that somebody could take your music, upload it to a Suno, and have Suno complete a snippet of a song. That was a theory. Bitch, that's a reality now. This artist named Kenny Gray said a fan finished his song using AI.
Damn, I use Suno and stuff like that. And like I do certain things with Suno, but damn, bro, like that's disrespectful as fuck. That is disrespectful as shit. Jesus Christ.
So a little while back, I made a parody of Paul McCartney.
Tony Macaroni stole all my pepperoni, now he's never gonna get it back.
And people really enjoyed the song and requested that I make a full version, of which I did, but I never recorded it and released it because I wanted to go and record it properly and felt it could maybe be part of an album. But then today, I got a message from a fan who had told me that they enjoyed the song so much that they had created a full version of it using Suno.
If one of you snot-nosed ass, I'm a fan of Curtis King TV, I watch your videos, bro. Been watching it for 10 years. One of you send me to one of you punk ass links, I'm blocking you. I'm blocking anybody with the same name as you. Anybody with the same color avatar as you. What you mean you a fan? That is not fan behavior.
Yeah,
what do you mean you took my song and ran it through Suno and finished it? I'll beat your ass.
He not wrong. Like that's disrespectful as fuck. First and foremost, because that is that's his IP, and then you just stole his IP and you can make money off of it. Like that's crazy.
It added additional verses using my same rhyme scheme.
Now Mrs. Nancy Bizzle selling daydreams out of fiddle, dealing London to a paper gun.
And it also added a Beatles type chorus.
Oh, a beautiful mess we made, and whether you are on your way or out on your own.
Now to play devil's advocate
Shit
first,
sound good.
I take it as a good thing that the person liked the song so much that they wish there was a full version. And I'm
You could wish your ass into patience. You can wish your ass into going back to your regularly scheduled program, and then when the artist lets you know it's done, you can wait too.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what you can wish your way into. How dare you? Here's the thing about it that's so crazy about it. In order to use a platform like Suno, you have to click a button, a check mark that says you have the rights to use this song that you're uploading and using AI to extend and manipulate. They didn't have the rights to that. The artist should not be putting out snippets of their song in this current climate.
What really bums me out more than anything is that me as a songwriter now hears this full version of a song and it's in my head. So if I ever go to finish that version of a song, I now have something to compare it against.
This is the part that I think that folks who are not artists will never think about, will never even cross paths with. But us as artists, we're sensitive to our senses. We're sensitive to our environment. The way we see things is very different from what an average person may see things who's not an artist, because this is our calling. This is our talent. So we're influenced by these things. Can you imagine? You have this idea that you're just allowing all of this creative energy to build off on. You're going through these ideas, you're figuring it out, and somebody gives you it and says, what about this one? Technology that is built upon the most catchiest of songs. So it's not like it's going to be automatically terrible. Well, it was stolen from great music. I don't want that. My voice matters in this, but it's hard to tell somebody your voice matters when they don't think that their voice matters enough to go try to find these skill sets themselves.
Somebody's gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
Their voice doesn't matter so much. They don't care that they have a mediocre version of everybody's voice, just as long as they can say something. Don't even gotta be their voice. I want to be a part of this. Ugh.
Additionally, it now makes me wary of the idea of releasing anything that's not fully complete, because now there is the ability for someone to take something and finish it and send it to me. And I guess I don't have to listen to it, but it's hard.
I've actually had this exact same conversation with my brother Cash. 'Cause this was maybe like what? This was like 4 years ago or something like that. Cause like he's sitting on a bunch of music and things of that nature. I'm like, bro, just go ahead and just release some of your music. He always tells me, he's like, yo, it's not the time. It's like a certain time and place, and he's not in the right place and at the time. And I'm just like, I was always like, bro, yeah, I understand that, but you got to push it out. I mean, because you want your fans to, you want to feed your fans, and your fans are starving for some of your music, you know what I mean, and some of your art and things of that nature. But and like I understand where he's coming from, and I understand where a bunch of artists are different, where a bunch of artists are coming from, where it's just like, yo, I'm gonna put it out on my time, and if like when my people get it, my people will get it. You feel me? Like, don't get me wrong, I got a couple of his tracks that I got personally, just because, like, you know what I mean, we cool and everything else. So like that's dope. Like, I appreciate all that, but you know,
Or not to, right? You're interested. Yeah. I guess artists, we need to understand if you don't finish your song, the computer might do it for you.
And waste a lot of valuable water in the process.
Somebody's gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
When you wouldn't even waste a drop of water. You wouldn't turn nobody's water mustard yellow if you just, I don't know, sat down at a dawn and made some music. Picked up a tambourine and hit it. I didn't waste no water with that. What is going on? You have fans who are overstepping their role in this exchange with an artist. An artist does not need somebody who does not make music to give them musical suggestions. You came to them for their specialty. It's like me, as somebody who is not in the best of shape right now, going to LeBron and telling him how he should do his off-season workouts. Which, by the way, is happening on Twitter right now as he's putting up workout videos and people are telling him how his technique is wrong, even though he's a professional athlete, but I digress. So many fans want to be a part of the artistic process, but don't want to be artistic. Artists, two things I'm going to tell you. Consider never releasing a snippet again. If you don't have the full song done, if you don't have a rollout plan for it or a date that is coming out, don't even put the snippet up. Also, consider taking your music off of some of these platforms like a DistroKid. Just consider.
And like he said before, and like I've said before, I know I say this person's name every time because he's one of the people that I actually listen to and for like certain or like music information and everything else. Devon Terrell, bro, your own website. Put your music on your own website. Only way people can get it is off of your website. That's it. And then money goes strictly straight to you. That's why I'm so heavily, I can't wait for Web3. That's why I cannot wait for Web3. And Web3 is here, but like it's just not used as much. But your own website, bro.
Consider it. I removed mine. If you can't find my music and you're wondering why my Spotify listeners is so low, I removed all of my music. Anything you see there are features. I'd rather have it on my website, and I'd rather have it on Bandcamp, even though Bandcamp can get a little sketch. Consider those two things, especially if you care about your art and your IP. This is a nasty, nasty time period we're living in, but it's important for all of us to stay aware. Sylvia Rhone, who's probably one of the most powerful voices in the music business, said this, and I believe it was kind of a indirect statement about the state of affairs and what she urges specifically at the BET Awards for Black artists to protect their music.
We've seen musical ideas become movements. And what we know is this: Black creativity is one of the most powerful forces in the world. It has shaped culture and continues to show the world new ways to see and feel. That creativity deserves one continued protection. Music needs us to stand up for it like never before, because we are living through a time of massive technological change. The possibilities are super exciting, but we must stay as active on the tech side of music as we are on the soulful side. We make the algorithm. The algorithm doesn't make us. We must honor the musician. We must compensate the creator. So let us celebrate music as the art form it is. And let us make sure the next generation of artists has the opportunity to create the songs that will change the world.
I appreciate her for saying the things that she says. It is getting challenging out here, especially for independent artists that feel like they don't have a lot of ways that they can combat this. But I encourage you, indieailawsuit.com, the class action lawsuit against these AI platforms. Go check it out. Sign up if you're an independent artist. This is a crazy, crazy world, to the point where you can't even trust our distributors and the DistroKid. Any of these distributors you should be doing your homework on. You can't trust the very platforms, the third-party platforms that you use, because you don't know if they're being compromised. You don't know what direct-to-consumer platforms to use, because they're in the bed with the devil. Where do you go to? A platform that you would have the most control over, which is your website. The thing that is clear to me, though, is that we need to be selective about where our music goes. And I know that sounds crazy for people who are trying to build an audience, but new people are new people. New people are new problems. Even people who call themselves fans will take your snippet, finish your song, and then feed you back a DM that says, look what I did. I ain't never made music, but this is the idea I got for your music. I put your...
Hey, brother, I love you. I respect you. Hey, here's your music, man. Here's music. Here you go. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, man. To all my musicians and artists and everything else, let me know what y'all think. I'll catch you on the next one, man. Hit that like, hit that sub, tell a friend and tell a friend. Hey, if you're an artist, I'm telling you, websites, you know what I mean? Build your own apps. We can do all that stuff now. It's 100% easier than what it used to be. Trust me. And it costs a little bit less than what it used to be. But catch you on the next one, man. Peace.